What's up guys, and welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be looking at China as an investment. This will be my first investment in China, so I thought I would show you what I've picked up, why I think it's a good investment, and also look at two companies specifically in China. If you know China, you know the exact companies I'm talking about. But anyway guys, let's get on with the video. Take it away, Donald.
China, I have to have my China. China because China. China now. China. You know, China.
So guys, I think the first place to start is China's economy, and let's take a look at it. So, where do we start with China? Everybody knows it's massive, and it's the rivaling economy to the USA currently. It's where a lot of the geopolitics is happening at the moment, around trade deals and things like that, and also embassies and things like that also. So, China, a population of 1.4 billion people and a GDP of 12.2 trillion have earned China a reputation as an economic powerhouse of the world. While there have been widespread concerns about the slowdown of the economic growth, at 6%, it still far outstrips growth in any Western country. So it's currently beating the UK, it's currently beating the US. The US is only at 1.9, which is kind of ridiculous. So I guess China's economy is absolutely blasting through the roof still. And its GDP showed growth in the first quarter of this year, which is still absolutely crazy to think of considering everything that's going on. Also, over the past 20 years, the Chinese economy has outperformed the S&P 500, which is kind of weird to think about, as everybody thinks the US is the world's kind of biggest market, which it does, but also in terms of like the pace of growth of China has outpaced the S&P 500, which is also interesting. Also, China's economy, so its population is at a point now where they have a lot of wealth. I mean, it's gone from poverty figures of, in the 1950s, you had 50% of the population was in the poverty line, but now you have that figure has drastically dropped to 10% of the population, which is in extreme poverty. So, I mean, you've now had this massive superpower growing in kind of wealth of the country due to its exporting potential back in the early 2000s. But now that wealth has trickled down to its citizens, who are now becoming consumers of domestic products. And there is a lot of growth, not just in its exporting capabilities in terms of its own internal economy of spending money. And I think that's something to take away for the video. So guys, I'm back. So I guess, you know, as an economy, it's really strong, and also it's about that added diversification. And in terms of investing in the US stock market, I've got some investments there, but I also want to be geographical with my investments, and I think China is another place to go and find some investments. So this is where I've found this ETF, which I'm exceptionally I had to hunt around for this one, but I think I'm quite happy with it, and it's got a portfolio balance of something that I'm quite keen on. Let's take a look. So guys, the ETF I'm looking at is the Xtrackers MSCI China UCITS ETF 1C, and the main focus of this ETF is to track specifically companies that are central or connected to China. So they're all basically Chinese organizations. They're not emerging market. This is an emerging market ETF. This is solely focused on China going forward. So I guess also the ticker symbol is XCX6, just for you guys. It's had a really good growth over this current period for two reasons, and I get into that. But as we approach March, obviously it had a bit of a slip and decline, but it's really grown up since the current period, and I think that's something which, yes, all the markets have done. They all have shot up past all-time highs, as we know, but this one didn't really have a crash almost. It almost saw the dip coming and was like, no, I'm going all the way out. And I know you shouldn't judge past performance, you should never do that, but I think this is where that diversification of having different asset classes, because they behave in different scenarios. But yes, guys, let's look at the holdings, because that is where it gets exciting. So the holdings in this are exciting for me. So I think, it's got a lot of consumer, it's weighted in consumers, communications, financial services. So it's basically got quite a nice selection of sectors within the ETF. But when we get to the top 10 holdings, this is where I want to focus on. And this is why I selected this ETF over a lot of other Chinese ETFs. The way that they've weighted this ETF is it's very focused around two very large companies, Alibaba and Tencent. And I'll get into those in a sec, but it's almost, just over a third of the weighting in the ETF is just these two companies. And these two companies are absolutely massive in China. We'll get onto them in a second. And they're obviously tech focused, which I'm quite bullish on. But this is why I really went for this ETF, is because it has a very strong weighting on the companies that I wanted. Because you can't just pick an ETF which is like ETF in gold and you go and click on that and you buy that. It's actually look at the securities in it, because it could be gold companies, it could be gold companies based in Alaska where they don't have any gold. So yeah, look at the securities. And so Tencent and Alibaba. Let's take a look. So Tencent is absolutely crazy as a company. So obviously a technological giant in China, and it's involved in everything. If we look here, it's heavily invested in games, and in my last video I talked about gaming slightly, but the Chinese people are absolutely crazy for games. They have over, I think, 600 million gamers in China. It's the biggest market for online gaming, and they actually have to set laws for under 18-year-olds to play games because everybody's so addicted out over there. But this company does pretty much everything. Social media platforms. It also has WeChat, which is essentially the Chinese version of basically WhatsApp, but they use it in such an innovative way. They pay for everything through that app. There's an amazing video, I'll try and link it in down below, where it's about just a day in the life of somebody who lives in China, and you basically pay for everything through a QR code. So you can book doctor's appointments, you can pay for stuff. You basically walk into a shop, you just scan the QR code and it takes money out of your account. But yeah, as we can see here, it's search, communication, social media, entertainment, sports, software apps, another technical giant. Okay, so let's look at Alibaba. So Alibaba, the other company in the ETF, so the other one, which I think this is the biggest holding. This is like the Amazon of China, essentially. That's what it's being compared to. And as we can see here, it's really, it hasn't copied it, but it's acquired lots of these other companies, which are essentially, mirror images of what the American economy is doing. And they just have so much. So they, massive cloud service in China. They're the biggest provider of cloud services over there. They obviously, are trying to rival Tencent in terms of, it's WhatsApp Messenger and things like that. But yeah, it has a plethora of services, and these are both two of the biggest technical giants in China. So guys, why am I so bullish on these two companies and also China in general? It's kind of where the world's going. I'm always thinking long term with my investments. I'm never thinking I'm going to sell the stocks. So Warren Buffett's famous saying is always invest in a company that you are planning to keep for the rest of your life. So, and that's the kind of premise that I'm thinking when I'm doing my investments. Is I'm not thinking next week I'll sell them in the crash. It's more like I will probably do dollar cost average throughout my life, investing in these probably the same shares unless anything drastic goes wrong. But China, let's get back to it. it's where the world is going. So if we look at this report from PwC, like, where is the world in 2050? Quite far away, another 30 years. So it's projecting that China will have a GDP 20% of the world. 20%. That's massive. And it will be, from these projections, the biggest. So if we look here, the UK in 10th place is absolutely terrible. God, rubbish. Sorry, Boris. Sorry, Boris, you're out. But China is, here we go. China is number one. It's already number one, but it will be number one by a long way. And the US is dropping. I think that's maybe running out of steam, but I'm pretty sure the stock market will super great for all you SPY investors out there. But yeah, I think this is just another thing. Just think about where the economy is going, and I will leave a link to this report down below because it's really an interesting read, but it's also kind of highlighting to how much China's economy is going to be pulling the world forward in 2050. So guys, breaking news, it's the next day after I made that video. So I guess news that's just happened. So Donald Trump has executed an executive order to ban TikTok. Not that I'm ever into that, but WeChat, which is owned by Tencent, one of the major holdings in the ETF in the US, from operating, as they are concerned about data sharing with the Chinese government. Obviously, with any risk, there are loads of issues, and this is just one of the hurdles and one of the things that has evolved over this political tension right now. So yeah, there is a big concern that Chinese tech could be banned from the US, which would be a major blow to the stock. Am I concerned? Yes, but also every investment has its own risks. So just be aware that that's happened, and I am monitoring the situation very closely. But yeah, Donald Trump going rogue and banning the tech. I'm assuming China will have a countermeasure to this and a counter proposal, which will stop US tech operating in China, which is, I know, what some of the American organizations want to do. So, I mean, it will be a like-for-like blow there. But anyway, guys, thought I'd just let you know. So, guys, that's today's video done. It's incredibly hot in the UK right now, so I cannot wait to get out of this hot, stuffy room. I hope you have enjoyed the video and kind of got my thoughts on two of the biggest companies in China and why I like them so much. Not in terms of they're not just in tech, but they are also adding to my diversity in my portfolio, which is always good. I will let you know how the ETF goes in the next video. Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.